Well, Tony, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to learn a little bit more about why I'm so excited. Right, I know that we had asked to sit down for just a few minutes, and I want to make this time valuable for you. I know time is valuable, so I want to bring as much value to this sit down as absolutely possible. Okay? So what we had discussed earlier was that I had something that I wanted to share with you I thought might be able to help you out, and you said that you were pretty interested in that. Yeah. So what it is that I found, it may or may not be a fit for you, but I'm just going to show you the whole picture, and you do what you want with the information. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay, so the reason that I'm so excited is that I was able to find something, or something found me, rather, which is a brand new technology through a biotech company that is at the forefront of a concept called nutrigenomics. And what we're able to do is create biohacking through nutrigenomics. Have you ever heard of that?
Not really. Sounds interesting.
Okay, well, biohacking, like, you know what hacking is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Okay, well, right now we're taking control of a complex system, and in this case it's your own biology. Okay, so we're hacking your biology, right, and allowing it to do what it was programmed to do, because nutrigenomics is simply the study of the way natural compounds interact with gene and enzyme expression, allowing your body to do what it was programmed to do. Okay. Would that be pretty cool to be able to biohack the aging code?
Yeah.
Through a natural compound?
Oh, definitely.
Pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
Well, the reason that it's exciting for me, you know that I came from construction, you know that I was a roofer. This is a brand new opportunity for us because it's a great opportunity for anybody that has never had experience before to get involved with something before it gets really big. Okay. Does that make sense?
It does.
Have you ever heard of network marketing, multi-level marketing?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it. I've never been in a business like that, but I'm definitely aware.
Positive, negative?
Kind of neutral, actually.
Neutral?
Yeah.
So if you're like me, you didn't know a whole lot about it?
No.
Okay, so I wasn't educated to it. I was kind of ignorant to it. I knew that it existed, I just didn't know how it worked, but to me it was usually people that were selling makeup or spatulas or soap. Yeah. And it just wasn't my cup of tea, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure we can relate, but there are some really big players in that industry, in those industries, that have made a lot of money. Right? So if you look at Amway, you've heard of Amway?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they've done $9 billion in revenue per year. Wow. Pretty big, right? Yeah, what about Avon? You ever hear of Avon?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
All right, so they did $6 billion.
Wow.
Right? Selling makeup. What about Herbalife? You ever hear of Herbalife?
Yeah, Herbalife.
So they did $40 billion in revenue. That's pretty big, and they paid 40% out to all of the people that were part of the foundation of building that company and the people that continue to grow revenue for that company. Gotcha. You think 40% of those billions of dollars would be a pretty good cut for you and your family?
Oh, yeah.
What if you could partner that with something that is going to allow your body to do what it was programmed to do its first 20 years of life?
Yeah,
you think that'd be a good way to position yourself?
Yeah.
Well, the company that I found that is that biotech company that I was talking about is called LifeVantage, and they actually have a 48% payout. That's aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That extra 8% is going to be a pretty big deal going forward when this company is in the rankings with these multi-billion-dollar companies, wouldn't you think?
Absolutely.
Right. So what I kind of want to go over with you so you can understand some concepts is I want to kind of go over the technology that we're working with. I want you to understand the industry that we're in, and I also want you to be able to understand how to recognize a good opportunity, right? Okay. So what was explained to me by somebody that knew more than me, because we have phenomenal training and mentorship in this company, was this S-curve, right? You have a company that starts out in formulation and pioneering, right, where they're kind of investing in their infrastructure, getting it off the ground, and then they go into what's called critical mass or branding, and this is where the demand for a product outstrips the ability to provide it in some cases, and that actually ended up happening to us back in 2005. Then they go into that growth phase, right, where they hit 80% of the growth of the company will occur. Okay. Then they hit stabilization, or as I like to say, too late. You missed it, kind of like Apple. Yeah. Did you miss that one?
All of them.
Yeah, I missed them all too. Anyway, so 2 to 7% growth is where that's going to go. Now, if you overlay this into a network marketing realm, you need to have a couple of traits or characteristics or categories that it needs to fall in. One, you need to have a highly unique and consumable product. And you saw the ABC Primetime Investigative Report. Yeah. Would you agree that that's probably pretty consumable?
Pretty consumable, and it's a lot of reason why I'm sitting here with you.
Exactly. Me too, because if that's true, that could be huge, right? Yeah. Well, you also need to have predictable success. And the thing that I love about this company is that we're publicly traded. You can go look at our stocks. Our stock ticker is LFVN, and we are a NASDAQ company, okay? So we're very transparent. Everything that I'm telling you today, you can go verify once you're done here. But you also need to be first, right? Have you ever heard anybody say like, oh, I tried one of those things and it didn't work?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why?
I never really got into that.
Well, it's probably because 95 to 98% of people find out about these kinds of opportunities up here,
Gotcha.
right? They were too late. They were just too late. So while some of these companies have 1 to 5 million distributors worldwide, you're competing with 1 to 5 million people worldwide for that 2 to 7% growth that the company's going to gain, right? You missed,
Yeah.
right? But the first 500,000, it's considered a cutting edge opportunity to capitalize on half of that momentum cycle. Pretty good opportunity still. But it's said that the first 150,000 per country worldwide, it's considered once in a lifetime because those 150,000 create 80% of the workforce. So they in turn get paid 80% of the revenue for the life of the company generationally. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Now, being that we're a publicly traded company, we've been open for 9 years and we're in 19 markets now with these category creating products that have science certifications and patents protecting us for decades. How many distributors do you think this company has worldwide?
Probably not a whole lot. How many
Not yet. As of our last earnings call, we have less than 80,000 distributors worldwide, of which about 45,000 are in the United States.
Oh, yeah, you're
Right? So Tinto Stadium, I don't know how many seats they have, but if we took every distributor that we have in this company, in this country, and put them in there, we'd still probably have tens of thousands of empty seats in that stadium. That's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
So would you agree that timing would probably be in our favor with some sort of technology like this?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, hypothetically, would you invest in Apple if you could rewind the hands of time, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So when I'm looking at that, that's when I started evaluating how do you recognize an opportunity. As long as I had the timing in my side, right, that leveled the playing field. It created the opportunity for an average individual such as myself with no education or experience to be able to get involved with something before it got really big, right? And what ended up happening is that because of the news piece that you had saw, it catapulted us. We were a $3 million a year retail company that shot to $5 million in orders almost overnight based on sheer speculation on what John Quinones' blood results came back as. Would you agree that that was probably pretty profound?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that created a movement where they decided, they couldn't keep up, they almost hit branding. They couldn't keep up with supply and demand and went on a 9-month back order, and then it went back right down to stocks were pennies on the dollar, and it was just collecting dust on the shelf, right back to $3 million a year in revenue because it went on that 9-month back order. Well, as a result of that, we decided to go into the realm of network marketing because there were a lot of R&D centers. There were a lot more than just health enthusiasts and couch potatoes that saw that news piece back in 2005. There were a lot of R&D centers and universities that saw that and said, hey, we know what oxidative stress is. If your product can do what you claim it can, we're willing to put up the funding to study your product. All you got to do is send us the product. And we were like, what's your shipping address? You know what I mean? As a result, we now have 23 studies on PubMed.gov that all show that protandim will reduce your levels of oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days in 100% of all oxygen-breathing mammals that take it. Bold statement, right?
Yes, it is.
Never been anything in natural or synthetic medicine that's ever been able to say that. And because of a news report that came out, that was the biggest piece of free PR we could have ever gotten, and it helped the company go from a $3 million a year retail company for 6 years to a just shy of a $250 million company in 5 years' time. So do you think that momentum phase is starting to come? Do you agree that timing is probably a little bit more important than the product in the beginning, just based on the fact that if you have that kind of validation and patents protecting it for decades, that product will probably still work just as good 50 years down the road from now as it does today? Right, so the product is still important if you want that stability for longevity. However, that window of timing is getting smaller and smaller and smaller every day. So that's why I decided, hey, I'm all in, right? When you go to PubMed.gov and you see those studies, you'll be able to understand why I'm so excited. I'm not a doctor, and a lot of those words I can't even read. I had to bring it to a doctor to translate it for me. But if you want to go do that research to validate it, please do. But you can also go to our company website, and it kind of brings it down to layman's terms because I'm a layman's kind of guy. Yeah. Oxidative stress was rusting. It's happening at our body. It's progression of aging and cellular degradation. This product reduces it 100% of the time after 30 days. So when I want to look at this, the next important part of that, how to recognize this, was compensation, right? Because even if you have the best product in the world and all the timing on your side, your efforts are going to be temporary if you're not getting compensated for your time, right? Yeah. I wanted to get compensated for my time, right? So I want to talk to you a little bit about the money aspect of it. And the difference that it was explained to me was the difference between linear income and leveraged income. Do you know the difference between the two?
Not too sure.
Well, I didn't. So I'm a business owner, right? I was a business owner. I was roofing. I owned my own company, and I did very well with that. But the second that I stopped putting cedar shakes or slate shingles on a roof, I stopped earning an income, right? I still had to go out, bid the jobs, get the work, do the work, and then get paid, right? The second I stopped doing that is the second that I stopped earning an income, right?
Gotcha.
So when you're looking at that, that's a 40, 50, 60 plan, right? People work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, 40, 50, 60, sometimes more years of their life, only to retire on half of what they couldn't live on in the first place, right? It's kind of a broken system. The reality is about 95% of people work that way, and 95% of them can't retire by the age of 65. And that's kind of the harsh reality that we're stuck with, right? Yeah. When you look at leveraged income, this is creating an asset. This is a residual asset. So I look at it like this. If I had to do 100 roofs one year, right? The next year the clock would reset. I'd have to do another 100 roofs just to keep up with inflation and pay the bills, right? But this is like I do 100 roofs one time and it pays me every single month for the rest of my life. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Would you rather work 40, 50, 60 years for that long, or would you rather just work 2 to 5 and create a residual income that continues to pay you? Because people are going to stay on these products. They're definitely going to love our products.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wouldn't it make more sense to just create something that you could separate yourself from the creation of that income over time?
Absolutely.
Right. So residuals, once I understood the difference between linear and leveraged income, I decided I would run through walls to get it. So when you're looking at this from a standpoint of everything that ties all of this in, it's the mentorship and training, right? Mentorship and training is probably the most important piece for me because I've never done this before. I needed to know that I had a track to run on, that there were people that were going to pick me up if I fell down, right? So 15 presentations a month or more is what I was told. Attending all monthly trainings and treating them as they were the utmost in priority was something else that I learned because it takes 10,000 hours to become a master in anything. I didn't just learn how to roof overnight. I had to surround myself with experts in order to learn how to do it so I could start my own business, right? But the difference with that is they were creating competition with me because once I learned everything they knew, I just went and started my own company. With this, the more people you help, the more your business grows, the more income you make.
Absolutely.
Fair enough?
Yeah,
it's the most humane way of doing business that I've ever seen. And then you just do that consistently for 2 to 5 years, okay? So when you're looking at that, you're going to have people that are going to fall into one of two categories. They're going to see this from a consumer standpoint, which most people will, or they're going to see it from a business standpoint. Gotcha. Like some very entrepreneurial minded people like yourself would see. So when you're looking at these categories, you got health, right? We have Nerf 2, right? We're working from the inside out. We put that in a pet product. So I know some people that take better care of their pets than they take care of themselves, right? We put it into our skincare, right? How many women do you know that would love to have a slower aging face?
Yes.
I would like to have a slower aging face. Smart energy. You see people reaching for the Red Bulls, the coffees, all of that stuff all of the time. Smart weight management. Those are big markets, right? Total, you're looking at over a $500 billion industry. And even if this company only captures 1%, how much of that do you want to put in the pockets of you and your family's future? Yeah. That could be massive, massive. And again, starting a business, you're looking at $1,250, right? And to keep the lights on, it's $200 a month. Now, what you get with that is not only are you going to get all of your products, it's, in my opinion, it's more than an $1,800 value because of the mentorship you get, the products that you get, the website, the corporate office, you know, the legal, the compliance. You get all of the things with a corporate team that handles all the stuff that you may not want to do, the not fun stuff. Well, you get to go out and do the fun stuff by having relationships and sitting down and getting some food like we're doing right now and just talking about business. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It does.
So, have you ever started a business before?
I have.
Did it cost more than $1,250 to start it?
$300,000.
$300,000. Was it more than $200 a month to maintain that business?
Bit, yeah, so $5,000.
Yeah. So for me, this is kind of a no-brainer, right? Like I was really excited when I saw this, and knowing that I had a system and a track to run on from people that already walked the talk made me feel a lot better, right? In fact, they created these forms, and they allowed me to. You know, this is an open book test. I'm just, reading this to you. You could do this.
Yeah.
So anyways, just to go over this, we are a publicly traded company, so we need to divulge to the SEC and the FTC exactly what it is that we're paying to our distributor force. Does that make sense?
It does.
I want you to focus on these ranks right here, 3 through 7, okay? And if you look at that, here are the volumes for that, but I want you to look at the total annual earnings. You hear about a lot of other companies that most of the money only goes to the people at the top, but most of the revenue that comes through this company is paid out to those middle ranks because we wanted to create a middle class that was going to be strengthened for people that were going to stick around long enough to see if this was going to work out for them and their family. Does that make sense? Well, look at the average incomes that would garner for you and your family. Would an extra $580 a month make an impact on you and your family?
That'd be nice.
What about an extra $2,500 a month?
Yeah, that's better.
I mean, part-time income, that's not too bad, right? What about an extra $11,000 a month part-time income?
Oh, that's...
You can make different choices.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. When we were able to accomplish that, I hung up the tool belt and I stopped swinging hammers and I don't put shingles on anymore.
Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah, but again, it continues to go down. Like the Pro 9s are making $42,000 a month. Almost seems astronomical, right?
It does.
But I know a few of these guys.
Okay.
And they're probably the most humble people I've ever met in my life. They're awesome.
Okay.
And, all the way up to the Master Executive Pro 10s, $110,000 a month, that would make a big difference, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And no offense, if you can't live off $110,000 a month, I can't help you. Yeah, I just can't, But, okay, so again, we talked about our investment. $1,250 will get you started, $200 in your overhead. Pretty fair, right?
Yeah.
We want to get your return on investment by finding 3 other people that see what you see. You get a $400 commission on that, and you are now playing with the house's money. Everything from here on out is profit. Sound fair?
Yeah, it does.
Also, your customers, because you're going to have a lot of people who say, thanks for showing me the business. It's not necessarily for me, but I definitely need that product. Well, you're going to earn a 40% commission right up front off their initial order. And they're going to continue to stay on it because they're going to feel a difference. Yeah. Okay? Now, when that happens, they're going to fall into this royalty payout. If we're finding 5 people that are building their business or having $200 in volume and consumable product that they're taking every single month, you're going to get 2% of that income every single month. That's $20. Naturally, I wasn't retiring my roofing company just yet, but we help those 5 people find 5 more. We do this duplicatable business and working with a 5 by 5 by 5 by 5. This is how it's worked out. So 2 levels deep, you're around a Pro 3, you're earning $270 extra a month, right? It could be a cell phone payment or a cable bill, right? Today, right? You double that down one more time, 125 people, 200 in PV overhead, 9% payout. The 9% went to the middle ranks. You see what they did there? They could have put it at the top, but that just would have meant that we wouldn't have gotten any. Right? We wanted to strengthen the middle class and have people stick around. So when you add those 3 levels up, that's $2,570. That's Pro 5. That's about an extra $30,000 a year. Part-time income, showing this 15 times or more per month and then taking the 3rd Saturday of every month just to make sure that you're getting the tools and education that you need.
Nice. Kind
of like a no-brainer, right?
It is.
Double it down again, you're looking at about $8,000 to $10,000 a month. Right? And then the next level, I mean, that's Pro 9 and it's kind of making your eyes go, whoa, you know what I mean? But it is achievable. And again, this company pays down 9 levels, and we're only just showing you 5 here, okay? So again, remember what it is that you're getting with that. You're getting corporate support, all right? You're getting your legal, you're getting your compliance, you're getting your website, you're getting all of your product, you're getting your passes to your first 2 events. That would be helpful, right?
Yeah.
On and on and on. Like, there isn't enough space on this sheet for me to continue writing all of this stuff. And I could talk about this for hours, but again, I wanted to keep conscious of respect for your time. And I've actually got to get going. I got a few more of these I got to do today. But one last thing I want to show you is the Elite bonus pool. And it's probably my favorite bonus. And it's not because of the money that it pays out. It's because of the behavior that it inspires, okay? So once you achieve the rank of Elite Pro 7, 8, 9, or 10, you now qualify for this global bonus, okay? So the company takes 4% of total global volume and puts it into this pool. All the 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s get to share in 1% of that, right? All the 8s, 9s, and 10s share a 2%, the 9s and 10s share a 3%, and the 10s share a 4% all to themselves. Naturally, it's good to be a 10 because you're getting 4 pieces of the pie, but that's not why I like this bonus. The reason I like that bonus is that it inspires everybody to help everybody regardless where they are in this company, in this world. Right? I don't know anybody in Japan, but because somebody else already did the legwork for the last 9 years, I get to share 1% of everything that they do every month. Yeah. Right? Would it be of value to you to be able to earn a percentage off of all the work that's already been done in this company?
Oh, yeah.
What about all the work that's yet to be done? 9 years and we're only in 19 markets and ever expanding every day.
Nice.
What would that mean for you and your family? An equal cut.
Yeah, that's nice.
When we're a $1 billion company, there's going to be $833,000 in each one of these quadrants being split up amongst the people that are able to achieve this by sticking to those behaviors.
Nice.
So I guess my question is this. I'm going to leave this with you, but I want you to ponder some stuff.
Okay.
You know, you've seen this information, and when I saw this, I had a decision to make. I could either go tell the people that I love and care about that this exists, or I could do nothing and hope that they don't tell me about it in 5 years. Okay, and if I could show you how you can make an extra $1,000 a month by working 10 hours a week for the next 12 months, would you want me to show you?
Absolutely.
Well, we could get you right involved into the training. We could get you some of these pads. Do you think you could do this?
Yeah, it seems like a few times over that, yeah.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your time, Tony. Thanks
All
a
right,
lot.
Thank you.
We'll follow up with you in a
All right.
couple of days, okay?
Okay.